So let's have a look at the architecture of a blockchain game. What sort of architecture should we have in mind when we design our blockchain games? And this will also help you understand what we mean when we talk about blockchain games and give you a general understanding of how these game structures and technical structures work. So this is all about how do we build this. So first of all, in a typical game, you have maybe your phone. Let's say it's a phone. It's an app. So we have phone, and here we have an app running, right? So it's a game running in app form on your phone. That app will communicate with a server, and as long as it is an actual online game, but almost all games nowadays are online games. So even though the game will run on your phone, this is responsible for running the actual game, doing the graphics, but then the server is also used for maybe high scores. Maybe it's used for trading items, and it's used for balance sheet of achievements. Balance sheet for maybe the in-game currency is used for keeping track of achievements. Everything that the user shouldn't be able to manipulate will be on the server, because the user can more easily manipulate things that just run locally on their phone. But if we actually have things that should be secured, or it could be passwords, accounts, right? We have plenty of things that should be kept on the server side, so that it is a fair playing field for everyone, because one single trusted entity holds all of the items, all of the scores, all of the accounts, and so on. And the app and server communicates in this way. So whenever I finish one round in the game, I will communicate my score with the server, and I will sign in. Then there will be a request to the server, and so on. So there's a lot of traffic between the app and the server, and this is run, of course, locally. And usually, when now we move towards a blockchain game, because this is the general structure of a game today. If we were to move to a blockchain ecosystem, then we add a third component, and that is, of course, I draw this the same way. So this is, let's say, for the sake of this course, it's going to be the Ethereum blockchain, right? And this is responsible for, in this case, maybe handling trading items. Maybe we move this to the Ethereum blockchain. Maybe we move the balance sheet of currency that is now in the Ethereum blockchain. Maybe achievements is moved to the Ethereum blockchain. A password we should not move to a blockchain, because that would be public, so not a good idea. And high scores might also be in blockchain, but that is maybe too expensive to store the high scores in a blockchain. We would do it with the financial things and the actual tokens that is associated with achievements, with items, and with trading those items. So they would be stored in the blockchain. But in order to communicate this to the app, there is another communication point here between the server and the blockchain. So you might ask, why aren't we communicating straight from the app to the Ethereum blockchain? And that is something that we can do. In theory, we can do that. And I would think that some apps actually do it like that. Some apps have a connection directly between the app and the actual blockchain. But that opens up for vulnerabilities, and it also makes it more difficult to actually handle all of the requests. For example, the Ethereum blockchain is very prone to weird errors. So error handling is way easier to do on the server than to do directly between the app and the blockchain. To have a server where you keep track of, for example, accounts and passwords is very valuable, and that can't be replaced by a blockchain. So instead, most of the games have this design where the server is responsible for doing requests to the blockchain as well. And as you will see when we go through the engine ecosystem, this is approximately how the engine ecosystem works. So you will be familiar when we go through the architecture of the engine ecosystem as well. But now I hope that you learned something about the general architecture of a blockchain game and how we incorporate the Ethereum blockchain or any other blockchain into our game.